Live from the SoCap Comedy Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, it's And the Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. Please welcome your host, Dan Donnelly.
Hello, and welcome everyone to Comedy Game Showdown. I will be your host, Dan Donnelly. Thank you. Thank you, comedians in the back. I appreciate it. So we do a panel show here every month on a different pop culture theme. This month's theme, it feels like years lately, is movie magic. So we're going to be talking a lot about movies. And because it has been Pride yesterday, I thought I would do something a little different and give you guys this special Comedy Game Showdown analysis of the plot of every gay teen movie that ever existed. First of all, we start off with a young, nervous, anxious, somewhat maybe high-maintenance bottom that is clearly not a stand-in for the writer and director, who are often the same person. This person is often very artistic, involved in music or painting, and often they have a rowdy and chubby female best friend if there's time for it in the script. However, they always fall for the classical ideal of male jock beauty, some important athlete at their high school who inevitably looks like he's about 28. And through some kind of circumstance, they end up spending time together, and then they gradually grow closer as they share in the anxious, nervous, high-maintenance bottoms artistic pursuits, and then occasionally in the jock top's more physical pursuits, and this inevitably turns into intimacy, and then occasionally somebody fucks a fruit, and then something bad happens because the jock top is always closeted, and so either his parents or his team don't know that he's developing feelings for this other boy, and so something bad happens and somebody gets beaten up. But the good thing about that is we know what happens after somebody gets beaten up. That's tender, loving care, and we know where that goes. And then, depending on what year it is in the movie and when it was made, 3 different things can happen. If it was made in the last 15 years, they live happily ever after. If it takes place in the 80s, they break up and it's very sad, and any time before that, somebody dies. And that has been your guide to the plot of every gay teen movie ever. Happy Pride, everyone. All right, we're ready to get the show started, but first, a word from our sponsor, movie theaters. Did you miss the experience of watching a movie you can't pause in a chilly room full of strangers on their phones? The overloud soundtrack somehow still overwhelmed by the sound of snacking, talking, and suspiciously repetitive wet sounds from the teens in the row behind you? Then come on back to the movie theater, where the chairs are comfy, the floor is sticky, and a small popcorn will somehow still cost $12. Movie theaters, now serving booze because you have to get through that screening of Lightyear with your nephew somehow. Movie theaters. All right, guys, you ready to get the show started? All right, I'm going to bring up your comedians. First team, the Time Bandits. Please welcome a gaping hole of nothing who didn't show up today. Hooray! Please welcome Gordon Hecht. And please welcome Charlotte Davie. Up against the Time Bandits is the Breakfast Club. Please welcome Chris Smith, Jessie Olsen, and Evan Klim. All right, guys, we're just going to take a second to get everybody set up here. All right, we're going to get started with a pop quiz. The first question, the category is silent study area. According to a study by the Library of Congress, about 75% of films made between 1912 and 1929 have what in common?
They're not as good as the book.
That's true, 50 points.
Yes.
Evan?
They don't pass the Bechdel test.
That is true of all silent films. Yes. Charlotte?
They're part of the MCU?
You're thinking of all of the films made between 2012 and 2029.
You're right.
Chris?
They were all on Hitler's vision board.
I feel like he might have been the artistic painter in the introduction. I don't know. I think maybe that's where things went off the rails. All right, everybody. So the actual answer is, unfortunately, that they are lost. Lost forever. Yeah, that is... way to begin the show with a downer. All right, moving on.
Somebody finds them, right?
Yeah.
You just quizzed us on movies that nobody alive has seen.
Yeah,
That's-
wait a second. What? Stop the steal.
The shut the fuck up horn no longer works properly because I've had to use it so much. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is heavier than it looks. For the first 2 decades of the Academy Awards, winners were announced 3 months prior to the ceremony. In 1940, they switched to a new system that involved what? Evan.
Carrier pigeons.
How can they lift an Oscar?
It takes a few of them to do it, but yeah, they could do it.
What is the speed of an unladen carrier pigeon compared to one carrying an
If you
Oscar?
tied 2 together with a string.
Yeah, there we
Are
go.
we talking like African or European though, right?
Thank you.
Is that your Dick Van Dyke?
No, it's Monty Python.
All right.
It's only seen musicals, so. So you can boot the horn.
So, regardless of who the actual winner was, they would just give the award to La La Land?
That is correct. At least once. That is correct.
Thank you.
Chris.
Giving the award to a black person.
Yes, that is true. In 1940, the first black person won an Academy Award. Coincidental that they weren't pre-announced or not? That was Hattie McDaniel winning for Gone with the Wind. It was a struggle to get her to be able to sit in the same room as everyone else. So.
That movie's aged perfectly, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Spotless Oscar record on that movie.
All right, so the real answer is they switched to the modern system where the winner is announced at the ceremony from a sealed envelope that is guarded by accountants for some reason. You don't think of them as being tough normally, but
Is it like delivered by like my Amazon guy though? Or?
All right, moving on to the next question. The category is terms of art. In film terminology, what is something that lacks any intrinsic importance and exists purely to advance a movie's plot? Chris.
An actor.
That is true. That is true. Have you ever tried to talk to one?
Insufferable.
Yeah.
Every single one of us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Jesse.
Full frontal nudity.
Yeah. It's not only the plot that it moves. I'll tell you that.
Dead parents.
Rick and Ashley, those poor girls. They never had a living mother.
That is true. I would have also accepted a dead girlfriend, but I don't have any room in my refrigerator, so. All right. The correct answer is a MacGuffin, the term coined by Alfred Hitchcock.
So that's different from a McMuffin, though, right?
That is different from a McMuffin, but a McMuffin can be a MacGuffin if it drives the plot forward, or just makes you enjoy your morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Good way to start the morning.
Good way to start the morning. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is gizmo maintenance. In the Christmas classic Gremlins, what are the 3 rules for keeping a pet mogwai? Yes, Charlotte.
Work hard, listen to your teachers, and have fun.
Oh, no, sorry. Those are the rules for being a nerd in high school.
That makes a lot of sense.
Gordon.
Bop it, twist it, pull it, pass it.
I think you're thinking of...
I'm thinking of a bop it.
You're thinking of a bop it, correct.
That was, and a twist it.
I was
Pull
thinking of... First of all, those are 4 things. That's the problem with that. And second of all, they're actually adequate for bringing butt plugs to a party. So, yeah.
Those are actually also all my safe words.
There should
That
be
must
a
get
5th
confusing.
step, wash it, if we're...
Yeah, hey,
Bop it, twist it, pull it, wash
wash
it, pass
it.
it.
Yeah.
Pass it.
Jesse.
I know this one. I learned this. It's stop, drop, and roll.
No, that is what you do when you're on fire or when you get the burning sensation from not washing it before you pass it.
Why we need the 5th thing.
That's why you need the 5th thing.
Or bopping it, too.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my boppers.
Yes.
Live, laugh, love.
All right. Thank you, Karen. All right. The actual answer is, of course, to not feed them after midnight, to not get them wet, and
Don't look at them in the morning.
No, I actually
Don't
forgot.
fall in love with them.
I've actually forgotten and I don't have it written down.
I think it's don't give it a name, maybe.
No, I don't.
Don't talk about Kremlin.
Do none of us know?
Have we mentioned about feeding it after midnight? Don't do that.
Yeah, don't feed it after midnight. That was the first one.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
It's sunlight.
It is sunlight. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Sunlight kills them.
Should I still be on this game show if I've never seen Gremlins?
It's okay. You don't have to have seen any of these
neither.
movies.
You've seen Gremlins too, though, right?
No.
All right. Moving on to the next question. The category is corporal punishment. In Matilda, what is the chokey? Yes, Jessie.
That would be the reason I'm into BDSM now.
69 points.
Addendum to that, very hot.
Yeah.
I want to change teams. No. It's the chokey is the reason that Keith Carradine died.
Yeah, that is true.
It's like the hokey pokey, but only for choking.
Yeah, that's true. It does have its own song. You put the dick right in, you take the dick right out. You put the dick... no, you grasp the throat real hard, then you squeeze it all about. You do the hokey chokey and you turn yourself into the police when it all goes wrong. See you in 5 to 10 when you get out. All right. Thank you, guys. The correct answer is that it is a small closet filled with nails and other sharp objects used by Principal Trenchbull as a punishment for the children.
They actually have one of those at Oasis Aqua Lounge, the sex club's lovely.
Yeah, that's where they shot Matilda. I don't know if you knew that. They make a lot of movies here. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is, well, hello, darkness. What completes this iconic line from The Graduate? Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to...
Cuck me.
I think you're thinking of the wrong character.
Nope, that's definitely what it is.
That's definitely what it is. Chris.
Get me to save money by switching to Geico.
You know, you could save a lot of money on car insurance by switching to Geico.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
This. It's crazy that she's even telling me this.
This podcast is sponsored by Geico. Charlotte.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to steal the Declaration of Independence.
And she would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for you nosy kids. Yes, Jessie.
This isn't an answer, but did anyone else find it kind of hot when Gordon said "cuck me"?
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, yes.
Yeah, you spoke with the authority of experience with that one, I think.
Rang in very quickly.
All right. Thank you, guys. The answer, of course, is Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. To seduce me.
Hot.
Yeah. All right. The next question, the category is no relation to Joey. In Dune, Timothée Chalamet's character, Paul Atreides, is theorized to be what?
Really fucking boring? I'm sorry, that movie was work to watch.
I felt like it was a really good movie that I didn't like at all.
I have notes.
That's the best kind of movie, right? Because you can appreciate it without enjoying it, which is the aim of all high art, I think.
Yeah, it's like being not turned on by like a naked Greek statue.
Yeah,
It's like, I see
yeah.
there's a naked person there that's very fit.
Excellent.
That's what that movie's like.
That is what that movie is
Cuck
like.
me. Oh, I got a real one.
Yeah.
He's theorized to be a Slytherin because of his pointy face.
Oh, that could be.
Is that why he talked like that? Is he a parcel tongue?
Yes.
Probably. Jessie?
Uncircumcised.
I certainly hope so, because it would be a shame for any of that to go to waste, wouldn't it?
Also, with like the water shortage, washing it all would be actually a concern again. So
Oh.
that's a little Jew humor for you.
All right. Thank you. So the correct answer is the Kwisatz Haderach. And that's it for this pop quiz. So we're going to move on to meet our contestants. Are you guys interested to meet all of these people in front of you here? I guess not. That's okay. You don't have to be. going to start with the Time Bandits, starting with a gaping hole in the wall that didn't show up today. Hello, gaping hole in the wall. How are you? I'm going to cut this part out of the podcast, but
I hope.
yeah. All right. So please welcome, first of all, Gordon Hecht. Gordon is the only film bro not to like Christopher Nolan Batman movies. He finally got married last year after a painful breakup with Star Wars. Gordon, pitch me a Jurassic Park sequel.
2 words, no dinosaurs. It's just absolutely no dinosaurs. It's just a bunch of insurance people realizing they've made a horrible mistake for the 9th time.
For the 9th time, these are the same guys who did 2008.
They keep renewing the insurance, and by this time it's like, no, this time the fences are like really electric. I promise, guys. Like, I don't know how electric they were. Really electric last time. They had flying monster. Oh!
All right, thank you, Gordon. Yeah,
that's it for me.
All right, please give Gordon a hand. Moving on. Moving on, Charlotte Davie has an illustrious film history that spans decades, watching such classics as Titanic, Back to the Future, and Spaceballs. She also asserts that Drive is When Harry Met Sally for boys. Charlotte, what is Zac Efron's best film performance, and why is it Hairspray?
Thank you for asking. I think everyone in this room, we should first of all just address that Hairspray is one of the greatest movies of all time. It's got a star-studded cast: Michelle Pfeiffer, John Travolta, Christopher Walken, Jerry Stiller, Queen Latifah, Amanda Bynes, and Mr. Zac Efron giving what is the greatest performance of his entire career. It's a perfect showcase for him. It shows off his singing, his comedic chops, and the fact that he is a teen heartthrob. Who was doing teen heartthrob better than Zac Efron in 2007? Nobody.
True.
You can't cast anyone else in that role.
That's true.
So sorry, Neighbors 2, but Hairspray is the highlight of Zac Efron's career. And the fact that he doesn't have an Oscar for that role just shows how broken America's institutions are.
All right. Thank you, Charlotte. Please give Charlotte a hand, everyone.
I want to switch teams.
All right. Well, up against the Time Bandits, we have their mortal enemies, the Breakfast Club. First up, Chris Smith is known to mercilessly mock anyone who loves Harry Potter, even though he used to pretend to be Gollum from Lord of the Rings to, quote, impress the girls in his class.
Thank you.
I'm wet.
Yeah. I have a question about that, but I have a different question first. Chris, if there were a Royal Rumble matchup between the characters of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, who would take home the belt?
Dan, that's a great question. And before I answer that, I do want to preface, there will be no magic used in this Royal Rumble matchup. It'll be purely the fists of kids versus hobbits. And I just want to clarify very quickly, when magic is removed, the Lord of the Rings cast is winning 10 times out of 10. There might be kids with hopes and dreams, and working together might work out well for them. But hobbits really in the main universe are just a bunch of short kings, and you know those people are angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to tell you, with people with feet of that stature, a leg kick to those knees, those kids are going down in a heartbeat. I've thought about this quite a bit, unfortunately.
That's true.
To impress the girls.
Yeah, to impress the
I'm
girls.
sliding out of my chair.
You gotta wonder, with hobbits with feet of that size, do they need to wear extra protective equipment for the fight? Because otherwise they would have quite a significant weak area.
I mean, I feel like it's the Harry Potter kids that should be wearing protective equipment. Like, they should be wearing knee pads, leg braces. Like, I feel like it's just complete cartilage in those feet. Like, they feel nothing down there.
I read a lot of stories where Harry and Draco were wearing knee pads. Is that not actually in the book? All right. Thank you, Chris. Give Chris a hand, everyone. Thank you. Moving on, Jessie Olsen prefers romantic comedies to action films, but once watched 7 Fast and Furious movies in a row in an attempt to acquire a boyfriend. There's a running theme for the Breakfast Club here. She was unsuccessful and now can only come while thinking about Vin Diesel's commitment to family. Jessie, do you think going to the movies is a good first date idea?
Definitely. As someone who unfortunately is attracted to and dates cis-het men, If we go to a movies on a first date, then they can't talk for 2 hours. And they're just significantly less likely to cock block themselves before I can get laid.
I wish I could say I went on a lot of movie dates where the person didn't still talk for 2 hours, but that is not true, unfortunately. All right, thank you, Jessie. And last but not least, Evan Klim took Film 101 in university and hopes having taken that class will one day pay off.
Do it.
Evan,
Yes.
do you watch cinema, movies, or films? Or do you just say the book was better?
Okay, so as someone who's dyslexic, I'm always up for a challenge when it comes to finishing a book ever. So I'm gonna say, the book is better, but I also do like watching a movie because, it's like reading a book really fast.
Yeah.
So
They did invent something called speed reading, which is a lot like watching a movie except boring.
I'm actually pretty good at speed reading too. Like, some people they like to run on like treadmills. No, I run on sentences.
All right, thank you, Evan.
Also, because this is an audio medium, I do want to note that Evan tried to ring in before answering the question about himself, and that is hilarious.
I wanted him to do it.
All right, thank you. Please give a hand to the Breakfast Club. Yay. All right. We're going to move on to the next section of our game called What the Hell Is This? In What the Hell Is This? We show our panelists a series of weird and wonderful images and ask them the eternal question, what the hell is this? All right, panelists, are you ready for your first image? All right, what the hell is this? Jessie.
Me after a foursome.
Gordon.
The ghost of Robin Williams.
So it was actually a fivesome. It's just that part of it was invisible. Yeah. Chris.
The next Cool Whip mascot.
Is that considered cream face? Like, can you still do that? Evan.
I think that's the Wolfman trying to shave.
Gordon.
The straight-to-TV B-movie version of White Chicks. Could we get that? Should we get that clean, or was that perfect?
Do it again. Why not? Nothing matters anymore. Gordon.
I fucked it up again. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna get it. Okay.
Try.
Yeah. The B-movie straight-to-DVD version of Two White Chicks.
Great answer.
Yeah, they didn't have much of a makeup budget for that one. All right, thank you guys. Unless there's anybody else, this is a still, of course, from Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, starring Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire. She has just put her face in a cake.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah, and she is gorgeous. Now her mask has fallen out the window, and someone has come over, and so now they would see that it was actually Robin Williams' character. And none of this is interesting. We're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next image.
It's the only movie where you would see someone dressed in like change genders, and you wouldn't say leave your truth. Should I get that clean? Cut this. This was his joke. He mailed it in. That's how I'm sure I'm gonna get a cut.
Don't worry. All right. We're gonna move on to the next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
What the fuck?
Jessie.
My first foursome.
A happy ending to the movie The Wicker Man.
That is actually what this is. I mean, it's a happy ending for some of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, a happy ending for the people at Camp Wicker Man. I think that's what it's about.
I just want to mention, why is the luck dragon turning into a real boy on the far right?
Oh, that hadn't occurred to me that that it looks like a dragon, but it is a dog.
The luck dragon's kind of doggish.
Yeah, it is kind of doggish.
A really bad manicure on that person on the right?
Yeah, that's true. Chris?
Doing an acid trip with the worst people in the world.
Burning Man.
Yes. 100%. All right. Anyone else? Gordon.
An inbred version of the Wiggles.
We had that on the television show, actually, on the television episode. All right, so this is actually from The Wicker Man, 1973. This is toward the end of the movie when they're about to sacrifice the policeman who's come to investigate in the giant burning Wicker Man. This is part of their Midsummer Festival fertility rite.
Terrifying.
Yes, it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend it. Do not watch the remake. Watch the original version.
Yeah.
You do not, you don't need to see the bees. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Call me by your name.
She's getting ready for it anyway. You gotta soften it up a little bit first, right?
That's my grandma when she would see me at Christmas time.
Wait, is that meant to be your face or your?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not surrounding your asshole.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Pelvic floor health is important. Okay.
That's true, it is.
Should I go? Should I take
Yeah, go for it, Jessie.
Pretty sure this is from the movie Flubber.
Okay, so this is from the movie Tampopo from 1985 by Juzo Itami. It has a lot of iconic scenes, including one where a man and woman pass an egg yolk back and forth between their mouths, and another where an oyster is eaten in a very lascivious manner. But it's actually a show about a guy trying to become the best at making ramen.
Also, a scene where someone in the opening beats up viciously another dude for eating popcorn too loudly.
Yes.
That's the trials of making good ramen, Gordon.
Yeah.
Step one.
All right. Are you ready for your next image?
Yeah.
Panelists, what the hell is this? Evan.
Bukkake.
Yes. Charlotte.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Very good.
Apollo 13-2, the moon fights back.
Yes, Gordon.
Mrs. Doubtfire in that scene.
It's true. There is a startling similarity. I guess great cinema. Great cinema.
Do you want to get it clean?
Lets us help out. Yeah, there is a startling similarity. I guess great cinema. I guess Kristen Cinema lets herself be known. All right, that's fine. Any other opinions?
Tons, but none about this image.
Okay. All right. So this is from A Journey to the Moon, Le Voyage dans la Lune, by Georges Méliès in 1902. It's one of the first movies to use significant special effects, which is used for the space flight, among other things, and of course, landing the moon in his eye. No, not landing the moon in his eye. Landing a rocket in his eye. A pocket rocket in his eye. I don't know. I'm tired. Yeah? All right, thank you, guys. We're going to move on to the next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
I'm gonna give it away because this is the actual movie it's from. I know it. Donnie Darko.
Chris.
A Wes Anderson character off the clock.
Very true. Charlotte.
An outtake from Peter Rabbit.
The Polish Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
The world's most bullyable child.
That's probably true. Yeah. Evan.
I think he forgot his cell phone, so he's just finding a way to pass the time. Just doing this thing, yeah.
This is just Polish Angry Birds.
That's very funny. Okay, so this is, of course, proof that Bob's Burgers is way sadder in real life. But this is also a very famous bit of the movie Gummo by Harmony Korine.
He keeps moaning.
Every time I remember a movie, I calm a little.
You're on the right show. You should see the moon later. Okay. Moving on to our final image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Whoa!
Whoa! Evan.
Someone that needs to go see a doctor. Yeah.
Chris.
1,001 ways you can have fun with gonorrhea.
Yeah. Gordon.
The coolest defense against the dark arts teacher ever.
You lit on fire, dude.
What?
I could honestly look at this forever. If the rest of the show is just us staring at
It
this.
is very
I'm sliding
hypnotic.
out of my chair.
This is the new P90X workout. I've seen it.
I have no idea what this is from, but I hope it's also on Pornhub because I'm curious.
It was actually a little hard to find.
Look at how happy he looks. though,
He
too.
does. He's very pleased with
The
himself.
eyebrows up?
I'm surprised he still has eyebrows, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you hit yourself in the face. It's inevitable. Okay.
Where do
Is this the scene just before Freddy Krueger becomes a burn victim?
Where do we even go from here?
All right. So this is again what happens if you don't watch the sex toys before you share them. This is from the movie Taxidermia, a Hungarian comedy by György Palfi that has a lot of very, very strange and disturbing things in it. But it is
Play in theaters.
it played in theaters in Hungary.
In Hungary. Anything goes in Hungary.
I think, yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. That was it for What the Hell Is This? We're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is another pop quiz. All right. The first question, the category is no-name spaghetti. Sergio Leone's famous Dollars trilogy of spaghetti westerns consists of A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and what? Charlotte.
Runaway inflation.
Yes. We can trace this all back to 1964. Jesse.
Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah.
Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
Yeah. The numbers keep going up, don't they? Charlotte was right. Evan.
For just $1 a day, you can save a child's life.
Chris.
Fist me for a few dollars more.
All right. Anyone else?
No, I'm exhausted after the fisting.
So the real answer is Tim's Cup of Toonies, although that was more of a craft dinner western than a spaghetti western. No, it was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. All right, moving on to the next question. The category is The Butler Did It. One of the most iconic lines from Gone with the Wind was nearly cut from the film due to profanity. What was it? Chris.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's windy here.
Evan.
I say, sir, you can go straight to HE double hockey stick.
That's true. All mention of hockey was forbidden by the Hays Code until 1968. It was a weird time in Hollywood back then. Jesse.
Pretty sure the line is, I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
That's true. English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
It's like planes were around for that much long. Like, we're around much then, so getting snakes on them it would have been bad.
Yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been bad.
That was a journey. We took a trip there.
Yeah.
Evan, you've got to ring in before you say stuff like that.
Like, have you seen the picture on Twitter of the plane with all the red dots? Those are all snake holes. It was really bad. It was really bad. All right. Anyone else? Yes, Gordon.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a cum.
Robin Williams begs to differ, I think.
Gordon, you always give a cum.
But the guy in that movie didn't. Didn't give a single cum.
All right. Thank you, guys. The correct answer is, of course, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, spoken by Rhett Butler to Scarlett at the end of the movie. But fun fact, they did have to cut the N-word 65 times because it appeared that many times in the book. All right.
And they had to give someone an Oscar.
Yeah, and they had to give someone an Oscar. All right. Moving on to the next question. The category is Leo's Rising Star. Leonardo DiCaprio did what for the first time in 2016? Charlotte.
Dump a woman for turning 25.
For the first time.
I'm so sorry.
Chris.
Deciding to rock a man bun. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He spelled his name right.
That's probably still not true, actually. As someone who speaks Italian, I find it very weird that it's written this way. I thought it was wrong.
How should it be spelled?
Yeah, what?
It would be 2 words. It would be D-I, lowercase, space, Caprio. Yes, Chris.
He got mad at climate change for the first time in 2006. He didn't like that.
2016. So he was a little late to the party, but
Yes.
we're still glad to have him. We're still glad to have him.
10 years after An Inconvenient Truth. Yeah. That was his time.
It was inconvenient. He had to wait till it was a convenient one.
He was late to climate change, but he was early to the man bun. So it all
And he was
balances out
early
in
to
the
all
end.
those not yet adults.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Cut that.
No, get a clean take.
Yeah, should we get that cleaned?
I don't think you can do a clean take of this show. All right. So the real answer is that he finally won his first Oscar for acting in the film Revenant after 5 nominations. That's
Fun
odd.
fact, it came by a carrier pigeon.
It came by carrier pigeon. That's true. I don't know why they're still doing that. You'd think with email and everything.
Sir, that was a callback. The carrier pigeon joke.
All right.
You should be peeing right now. That was so funny.
Moving on to the next question. The category is Tears Will Fall. While filming Stand By Me, how did director Rob Reiner get child actors Will Wheaton and Jerry O'Connell to cry on camera? Gordon.
He showed them an actual dead body.
Chris?
He told him the shark in Jaws was real and that he had it on speed dial.
Yeah, my brother did that to me with a pirate named Bob. You think I would have figured it out that pirates weren't just named Bob?
That's a little racist.
The pirate's name is Robert, obviously.
Yeah, but I was
Take it back.
I was deathly afraid of the pirate Bob who lived in his closet. I was 4. It's okay. Jessie?
He told them that their parents were getting divorced specifically because they were so bad at acting.
Yeah. Charlotte?
He told them that he ate all of their Halloween candy to send it to Jimmy Kimmel.
Gordon?
He took them to the future and showed them their IMDb page.
Poor Will Wheaton.
If you guys don't act, one of you is gonna be the body.
He took them to the future, full stop.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys. The real answer is that actually pretty close to what Jessie said. He basically told them that they were doing a terrible job on the movie and screamed at them until they broke down crying. Good old Rob Reiner. Ugh.
That's so opposite my image of him.
Really?
You're shit! Yeah, just like I picture him as like the nice guy at the beginning of Spinal Tap.
Oh, okay.
Gordon, everything in movies you've ever known is fake.
What?
Even
Aren't
porn?
you an actor?
Dinosaurs aren't around?
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is Who's the Boss? In The Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep plays Miranda Priestley, a demanding, inhumane, and out-of-touch executive based on what notoriously cold and imperious real-life figure?
Richard Simmons.
It's true, though. He tells you to sweat. You just ask how hard. Chris?
Ellen?
Yes. My mother worked on The Ellen Show, and it is all true. It is 100% all true. They were not allowed to look her in the eyes. You would get in trouble. Yeah, it was all true. And it was like that for years. Gordon?
Dan Donnelly?
I only wear Balenciaga, but you've earned yourself a few hours in the chokey later.
Oh, cuck me.
So hot. So hot.
Can we just rename this episode like a million ways to say cuck me? Like a different intonation?
The night of 1,000 cuck me's.
Yeah. I think that you could do well with a podcast just called Cuck Me.
It would be a video podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And it would just be on Pornhub. But yeah.
To be real, I don't have the body for it.
No, well, you don't have to because you're the guy sitting on the bed next to them.
I've never seen porn.
You're fully clothed, looking distressed, but also kind of turned on. While the more attractive
like
guy.
Like this. Like, oh no.
Don't fuck my wife.
No, stop. No, stop.
All right, thank you guys. So the correct answer is Anna Wintour. Anna Wintour is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The category is doing legitimate business. The 1974 television premiere of The Godfather reportedly led to what disastrous consequences for New York City? Chris.
A dramatic shortage of pomade.
Yes.
Italians thinking they're actually cool.
That's true, but it's a side effect of chronic pomade toxicity. Evan.
It was the collapse of the pillow mint industry because like hotels are now putting horses' heads on pillows.
Yeah. It was sad. A lot of people worked in that. A lot of people worked in the pillow mint industry. It was sad when the horse heads took over. Caused a crash. It's hard times for everybody, especially the horses. It's not good. Yeah. Gordon.
Eventually, The Godfather 3. That's for the movie nerds out there.
Evan.
A lot of people stole TV so that they could watch it.
That's probably true in 1973 in New York, and 1974 in New York. All right. So the correct answer is actually that there was serious sewage overflow from all of the toilets in the city flushing at the same time when the movie ended. This was 2 days in a row.
Because it was so long?
Yeah. So they aired it
And they
in
were
2
so
parts.
hydrated. I got it.
Wait, could they not have watched it on their phone back then or
No.
on the toilet? No?
No.
They watch it on their planes. That callback sucks. Did I get that clean?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. We're gonna move on to the next question. The category is fine hosiery. Strange Brew, featuring SCTV's Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis in their fan favorite roles as Bob and Doug McKenzie, was loosely based on what Shakespeare play? Charlotte.
The Merry Wives of Windsor, Ontario.
Correct. Gordon.
2 Gentlemen of Kelowna.
Yes. Chris.
The Taming of the Brew.
Yes. Jesse.
I was like, I do have an answer. I think it's called A Midsummer Night at the Cottage.
Very good. No, the actual answer is, of course, All's Well That Ends with a Beer and a Dart Behind the Shed, bud. But also Hamlet. Hamlet is the play that we were going for.
That explains the monologue where they're like, 2 beers or not 2 beers.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
No,
Yeah.
not even a question. All right, thank you guys. That was it for this pop quiz. So we're going to move on to the next section of the game, which is called Not Bloody Likely. In Not Bloody Likely, we give our panelists a series of unlikely or unusual situations, and they give us an idea of what might happen. Are you guys ready for your first unlikely situation? Rejected sequel pitches.
Paris is Burning 2, sponsored by TD.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, to be honest.
Twice as the sequel to Once. Falling less slowly.
Schindler's List. P.S. This time, it's a whole new list.
Milk, eggs, bananas. Some gefilte fish, obviously. PTSD. Yeah.
The Slow and the Furious. It is Vin Diesel starting a tortoise racing underground ring.
Very good.
Too Fast, Too Furious. They'd never make a second Fast and Furious movie, right?
How does that get you laid? Out of curiosity.
East Side Story. Everyone gets along and nothing happens. Just a lot of singing in New York.
That's very good. All right, I think we're going to move on to the next one. Implausible porn parodies.
Toy Story.
They don't know who's guilty yet, but they know someone's being punished for being a dirty little boy. Henry Fonda presents 12 Angry Doms.
A Tale of Two Cities and One Cup.
Step Brothers.
We're watching different sites, I think.
Gord, A Tale of Two Titties. That's what we should have. A Tale of Two Titties.
Only 2?
And one cup. 101 Dalmatians in one cup.
Harry Potter. Think about it. Let it settle.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, what part is the Potter?
You don't know what part the Potter is? You really are sheltered, aren't you?
Male Potter's a myth.
That's not true. That's not true. You can hit it if you get the right angle. Moving on, I think. Iconic film, wrong genre.
Sleepless in Seattle, a horror film about night terrors.
I feel like Sleepless in Seattle is already a horror film in a way.
The English Patient. 2. This time, it's personal.
Promise me you'll cut this one. It's just for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's very funny. It's too bad that you don't want to say that in public.
Luckily, we got a clean take.
Yeah. You spoke beautifully into the microphone.
Shrek as a procedural drama journalism movie where they're breaking a story about Farquaad.
Yeah.
Just breaking any story about
Like in
him.
the Washington post offices, chain smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
drinking whiskey at 3 p.m.
And then they're like, run it.
Yeah. I would watch that, actually.
Beauty and the Beast, but instead it's just Taken. It's all about the dad.
Reservoir Dogs, but it's a children's film about a bunch of pups at the local pond.
Oh, that's so cute.
101 Reservoir Dogs.
One cup. All right, thank you guys. We're going to move on. Cinematic universes we don't need to see.
The Miramax Weinstein universe.
Between the 5 of us, we've seen 10,000 movies and not a single clitoris. It's the Cinephiles.
The expanded Jared from Subway universe. Expanded. This is the funniest one.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. We're going to move on. Movies that probably shouldn't be musicals.
I ate his liver with Farva and Chianti. He's a delicious man, and it's Silence of the Lambs.
A Quiet Place.
Cats 2019.
Can I do a TV show?
Sure.
Handmaid's Tale. I'm lying there, staring at the ceiling. I'm lying there, trying not to feel all the things that I am feeling.
That's very good. It felt like you had that in your back pocket for a long time.
I was actually avoiding pitching that because I knew, and then anyway.
All right.
I have a whole musical.
You have a whole Handmaid's Tale musical?
Yeah, but the other song is just Handmaid's Tale, just another Handmaid's Tale, and there's no joke. It's just that line over and over and over again. That's how it started.
Are they cats in this one? Is that why it's...
Yeah, Judi Dench plays all of the cats. Actually, Judi Dench in Handmaid's Tale is not a bad idea.
No, it would be good.
Yeah.
As a cat, but no, definitely.
Gilead might be tough, but how do the people in Handmaid's Tale gonna navigate being back in high school again?
All right, thank you guys. We're going to move on to the last one. Wildly inappropriate casting mistakes.
Scarlett Johansson, all.
She can play anything.
Look, Mr. Leto, we know that you're a method actor, but we think you playing Albert in The Color Purple is a bit much.
It's pronounced Leviosa, not Leviosa.
That was very good. That was very good.
Is that points?
Yeah, it's just me cheering for you with the bell.
Again.
For the listeners at home, Gordon is doing a rather silly looking dance.
Leaving me hanging.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, then we'll end with that. Thank you, guys. And we're going to move on to the last section of our game, which is called Debate Club. In Debate Club, our panelists take on serious issues of the day and argue them out, and you, the audience, get to decide who has won. All right. So, arguing our first question, should children watch scary movies? We have Charlotte, Davie, and Evan Klim arguing that children should watch scary movies is Charlotte, Davie. Arguing that they should not is Evan Klim. Charlotte, you have 1 minute starting now.
Okay. When I was 7, my parents took me to see Lord of the Rings, and it was so scary. And when I was 5, my parents took me to go see The Mummy, and it was so scary. And I know what this sounds like, that I have bad parents, but actually, what I've later learned in therapy is that you should learn about yourself, and that's unrelated, and you should learn about, yourself, and it's important to learn about what triggers you at an early age so that you know about that and you can heal from your trauma, but most importantly, so that you know how to make yourself cry to get out of a work event at a moment's notice.
All right, very good. Thank you. Evan, you have 1 minute.
Yes.
Starting now.
So I don't know if you folks have ever met kids. They're the future, they're creative, but their brains aren't fully developed. Like, can you expect a half-baked brain to handle like a scary movie? Like, if they can't deal with learning that Santa Claus isn't real, how can you expect them to handle Krampus? Like, they just can't, okay? And what are you going to do when your kid won't go to sleep because they're afraid that Santa's going to break into their house and eat them? Because you can't just tell them that they have nothing to fear or that that movie isn't real, because those feelings are real. And if you say they aren't, that's gaslighting. You should never gaslight a kid. That's just weird, okay? But even worse, what if they actually really like that movie and they want to shape their whole personality around it, okay? It's because raising a kid is hard enough as it is. Just imagine being a parent to a goth child, okay? Just defining your whole personality about liking The Nightmare Before Christmas. No, thank you. No, thank you.
All right. 1 minute exactly. Thank you, Evan. Charlotte, you have 30 seconds to respond. Starting now.
Evan, I resent that you think so poorly of children that they can't handle a scary movie. Kids are amazing. They can do anything, including becoming the next American Psycho because of a little inspiration that they got from a movie called American Psycho. Also, where do we draw the line on what's a scary movie? Sometimes you're watching a movie that you don't think is scary, and then all of a sudden, a paparazzi pops out of the toilet in Spice World to snap pictures of the girls while they sleep. If we start drawing the line at one movie, we have to include them all, and therefore kids should watch anything they want.
All right. Evan, you have 30 seconds.
To which I respond, I wouldn't want to show kids movies. I would want them to read books, like Stephen King's books. If they want to learn about something that's terrifying, pick up a book or just read the news. That's where the scary stuff is, right? Anyways, don't watch movies, read, folks. Yes.
All right. Thank you, LeVar Burton. All right, now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree? Do you agree with Charlotte Davie that children should watch scary movies? Woo. Or do you agree with Evan Klim that they should not watch scary movies? All right, Evan. Evan wins. That's a point for the Breakfast Club. All right. Moving on to the next debate. The question is it okay to make out during a movie? Arguing in favor is Jessie Olsen. Arguing against is Gordon Hecht. Jessie, you have 1 minute, starting now.
Okay, first of all, I don't even know why we're bothering to debate this, because makeouts are fucking awesome. They're hot. They're free. You should really take any opportunity you can to make out with someone. So if you're watching a movie with someone, great date option. We talked about that earlier. Obviously, you should be giving them your attention, because you could watch a movie anytime. You could watch it on Netflix later. The movie's not going anywhere, but your makeouts are not guaranteed. So why would I ruin this amazing connection I have with someone next to me when the world is on fire, everyone is dying? Obviously, you should choose to make out. You're seriously not going to make out with someone hot sitting beside you, you would rather ignore that person because you're so focused on the plot of Morbius? Making some fucking mistakes.
All right, thank you, Jessie. Gordon, you have 1 minute, starting now.
The park, the subway, generally outside, in a bedroom. Perfectly silent places to make out with someone, very much within all of our control to get to at any given point of time. When have you once been making out with someone and been like, you know what would make this better? Quentin Tarantino. There's no world. Oh, we're adults. We can go anywhere. If the movie is good, you're missing a good movie. If the movie is bad, you could leave and not ruin your makeout with your shit fucking movie. This message has been brought to you by good and bad movies everywhere. And I don't want to see it. You grossos. The end.
All right. Thank you, Gordon. Jessie, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Okay, 2 things. First of all, Gordon's opinion of this doesn't really matter because he's married, so they probably don't even make out anymore. I know my husband and I stopped doing that, and that's why we got divorced. Also, I understand the whole, we don't need Quentin Tarantino for this, blah, 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 whatever. Listen, if I'm watching a movie with a hot Ryan Gosling and I can make out with someone, that is the closest to a threesome I'm going to get with him. So let me be.
All right. Thank you, Jessie. Gordon, you have the last word, starting now.
You're watching a movie with Ryan Gosling in it. He's right there. Why? You just watching him is the closest any of us are getting to making out with him, probably. You know? And look, nothing makes the hot Ryan Gosling you're with look less like Ryan Gosling than seeing actual Ryan Gosling. Also, it's gross that you're making out to Larson the Real Girl. I think that's supremely problematic and will not age well when this podcast airs. Good night.
All right. Thank you, Gordon. All right, now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Jessie Olsen that it is okay to make out during a movie? Wow, okay.
Yeah, that was all of us being out loud.
Please be careful with that. Or do you agree with Gordon Hecht that it is not okay to make out during a movie? All right, makeouts win. That's another point for the Breakfast Club. And
Yeah,
Gordon,
whatever, you square.
And Gordon storms off the stage. All right.
I can't handle not winning. I've been giving everything my entire life.
All right. And our last debate. The proposition is no movie should be more than 90 minutes long. Arguing in favor is Chris Smith, and arguing against will be me, replacing someone who didn't show up today because they are terrible.
All right, I'm going to go first in this instance, and I just want to make it very clear that there is no rhyme or reason why any movie should be longer than 90 minutes, because quite frankly, it just gives directors all the credence in the world to do dumb shit that we don't need to see, okay? Building tension, you're building boredom, okay? That is what you're doing with me at this point, and I don't really appreciate it. Here are some movie scenes that we will never have to see again if every movie is cut down to at most 90 minutes. 2 men in black and white laughing about nonsense in a lighthouse for 7 minutes. Vin Diesel being forced to do a monologue about family as opposed to just driving vehicles. And a continuous shot of someone just floating through space for 11 minutes for no reason than for them to let us know that they are in space. All of these are real shots, and you all know exactly what movies I'm talking about. It's the sign of a good director that they can create a film within a reasonable time. Maybe I'd be able to figure out Lawrence of Arabia was if I didn't have to start it at 2:30 in the afternoon to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I swear to God, if I didn't bring any snacks or anything at the start of Gandhi, by the end of the movie, I'd weigh as much as he did.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chris.
I love Lawrence of Arabia. Take that back.
Yeah, arguing against will be me. I have 1 minute starting now. First of all, there are many wonderful things about Lawrence of Arabia. One of them is the score, and if we cut that movie down, obviously some of the music would disappear. Thing number one. Thing number two, the movie was already so jam-packed with good content that not a single woman had a speaking role. It needed to be longer. It needed to be longer. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's the thing. Artistry takes time. Time. And it takes money. And we have crews that need to be paid money so they can eat. So the longer the movie is, the more the crew gets to work, the more they get to eat at home. This is a pro-union thing, honestly, at the end of the day. And third of all, movies are the inferior art form compared to television. And what is the difference between television and movies? Television takes a long fucking time. You're watching that for 15 hours. Movies don't give you 3 weeks of your life completely disappeared. But they could, if only they were longer. All right, thank you. All right, Chris, you have 30 seconds to respond to me.
Well, I have been previously attacked for my union beliefs, but here's another thing that I am looking to kind of reach out to, and that is people in the small bladder community, okay? What am I supposed to do at Ben-Hur when it is 3 hours and 15 minutes and I've got to pee by minute 46? You better believe that we're at least missing something. You know, with television, I feel at least like every 50 minutes I can take a break. But with these, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with myself. Just not drink water for 3 hours? I'm a human being. I'm not a lizard.
All right. Thank you, Chris. I get the last word, apparently. All right. If you're watching Ben-Hur and your dick isn't already out, you're doing it wrong. Sorry, that's really all I prepared. That's really all I prepared. No. But listen, when you go to the movie theater, you're paying for their time. You're renting out a bit of Toronto real estate. And what do we want except cheaper Toronto real estate? So the longer the movie is, the longer we get to occupy that space, all of a sudden we've solved the housing crisis. All right, thank you guys. All right. And now you, the audience, get to decide, do you agree with Chris Smith that movies should not be more than 90 minutes long? Or do you agree with me, who may also be paying you later, that movies should be more than 90 minutes long? Yeah. Power to all of us. Okay, thank you guys. And now that we've come to the end of our show, we get to decide who takes it home overall. So the Time Bandits were running at a deficit today. They were one person down, but they still were up to the task and covered their. I'm going to make this more articulate than this.
Even though we were cucked, we still came
Yes,
out on top.
even though you were cucked, you still came out on top. So just for that, I'm awarding the Time Bandits today's prize of nothing. Congratulations, you win the game.
Let's do the cool arm lock thing that they do in the NBA.
I don't know what that is.
All right,
I was
this
thinking entering the NBA.
has been Comedy Game Showdown. This month's theme was Movie Magic. I'm your host, Dan Donnelly. This episode was starring Gordon Hecht, Charlotte Davie, Chris Smith, Jessie Olsen, and Evan Klim. Next episode is Musicology, all about music. July 25th, 8 o'clock here at the Social Capital. Follow our Patreon. It's the best way to get cheap tickets to the show. And follow us on social media and a Scotch Egg, because we're going somewhere. We're not sure where. And we're a little drunk. But we'll get there one day. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys, and good night.